We're going to use this equation for our next couple of questions, and we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff with it. So the first equation is to write it in vertex form. So we actually want vertex form, which, if you don't remember, is y equals parentheses x minus h squared plus k. It's a really basic vertex form where hk is your vertex. So remember, vertex is going to be this point. So we need to find that. So what we're going to do is with our equation, we're going to label A, B, and C. We're going to be doing this with a lot of questions. So A is in front of the x squared, B is in front of the x, C is the constant. So the x value of our vertex is the opposite of B over 2A. So we're going to use the stuff we just labeled, plug it in. So the opposite is 6 over 2 times 1, which is negative 6 over 2, which finally reduces down to a nice negative 3. So what we want to do now is, since we have that x value is negative 3, we need y. To find y, plug it in. So y equals negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 8. If you have a calculator, you just plug this in the calculator exactly like you see it, parentheses and everything. If not, you can take it step by step. So 9 minus 18 plus 8, which would give you negative 1. So we have our vertex, negative 3, negative 1. Now we have h, we have k, because that's our vertex, so we're going to plug it in. Y equals x minus negative 3 squared plus k. And then just to make it look nicer, we don't want minus and negative, we can just put a plus. And we don't need plus and negative, we can just do minus. And there's our vertex form. Our vertex form, find the vertex, plug it in. Don't just list the vertex. So what does vertex form reveal about the graph? It's two things. One is it tells the direction. The other is it reveals the vertex. So what this question wants when asked what does this form reveal about the graph? Direction, vertex. Don't need to get too specific because it's not asking for specifics, so direction and vertex. When it wants you to write the equation in factored form, factor it. So we have our same A, B, C. This is where we make our giant X. 8 goes on top because that's our C value. 6 goes on the bottom because that's our B value. So two numbers that multiply to 8 add up to 6 would give us 4 and 2. They're both positive. So we're going to take these two factors. We're actually going to write them out. So x plus 4, x plus 2. Remember, it is an equation. That's what we're looking to. So we need y equals in front of it. So y equals x plus 4 times x plus 2. And the next part is, what does this form reveal about the graph? It reveals the zeros, which you could also call the x-intercepts, which is fine. And it also tells us the direction. Standard, vertex, factored form all tell us direction, so that's a gimme. So it asks for the domain, the range of the graph. You can do the graph in the calculator if you want. You don't necessarily need the graph. What we need to remember is domain. Domain's the easy one. It's always from negative infinity to infinity with quadratics. Up, down, whatever way that this opens, domain is domain. Range is the one that's a little bit trickier. So we need to remember our vertex from before. So we did the vertex already, so we need that. If you look at the calculator, this will open up. We can also tell, since x squared is positive, it's going to open up. What that means is our k value is going to be our smallest number, and it's going to open up to infinity. If it would open down, it'd be negative infinity to the k value. Notice the k value is in brackets because we can use that number, where infinity is always in parentheses. And then in behavior, it gives you the start for this, which is nice. So when x approaches infinity is the right side. Quadratics are either going to have both sides go up or both sides go down. Since this is even, both sides are going up. which means both sides are going towards infinity. If it was negative in front, so a negative x squared, these would be going towards negative infinity because it would be opening down. This one we have a transformation. The parent function being x squared means what we're going to be working with is a quadratic. So we're going to have an x and a squared in our answer. Once we get to future units, we'll be having different functions be the parent functions. So it's compressed vertically by a factor of 1/2. 6 units left and 7 down. Easiest thing to do with multiple choice is ignore them for now. Write it out ourselves. They're using g of x, so we will too. Compression of 1/2 means it gets multiplied by a half. Parentheses x, we look for either left or right. It's going left. Left means plus. Plus 6 squared. Going down, so minus 7. So we take a look, which one matches ours. C and D have 2's, not 1/2's. A has a minus, which we don't want, so it's got to be B. So B is the one that matches up with ours. Okay, so same basic idea with number 11. So let's take a look what we have going on. So we have it being stretched by a factor of 2. It's going 7 units right and 3 down. So it's a stretch, which means out front, once we do g of x, it's being multiplied by 2. In parentheses is left and right, so we're going right, so it's going to be x minus 7, because minus tells us it goes to the right. And then it goes 3 units down, so minus 3. So again, we check which one matches ours. That's got a 1/2, that's got a 1/2, that's got a minus, that's got a plus. So our answer is G.